What is the key difference between a public and a private blockchain? Why do certain institutions rely on a public while others rely on a private blockchain? Is it the product, the utility, the use case? Or is it the cost of the infrastructure? Or maybe is it both? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blockchain for Business. My name is Hatem, and today we will get the answer of the question from Baltazar Rodriguez, Senior Architect, Technology Evangelist, and Blockchain Engagement Leader at IBM. So stay tuned. Baltazar, I have a question if you don't mind. Sorry.
Sure.
In a proof of work system and the proof of stake, the incentive to validate the transactions is the token-based system, or for example, the satoshis that they get while mining. In Hyperledger, what's the incentive for an institution or a group of people who are validating the transactions using a certain hardware?
That is an excellent question. This is where, and this actually starts being addressed from Corda, even before we hit Hyperledger, because Corda isn't based on mining, okay? Now, in Ripple, you don't have mining, but you do have a token that you need to pay. Thus, you might not have a per se, cash generation, but you do get gas in a way. Now, Corda and Hyperledger, they're different. They're entirely non-mining based systems. Thus, someone has to fork out the money in order to set the infrastructure to validate those transactions. So the whole idea for this is that the business model behind both Corda and Hyperledger is entirely different. The business transaction here is based on a separate idea. Let me put this as an analogy. Okay, by doing this sort of transaction in the traditional way, it costs me 100 pesos to do so. Okay, but if I use blockchain and I invested money in having my own node within a network, that node within the network would cost me 50. Okay, now I'm validating my transaction and I'm validating everyone's transaction for that investment of 50. Yeah, but 50 is less than 100. Okay, so here it's an entirely different model. Instead of actually trying to throw a challenge and have work done and being paid for that work, what you're trying to do here is a cost substitution. You're substituting your traditional way of working versus a blockchain-based way of working, because doing it this way is actually cheaper than doing it the old way. If that holds true, then that holds true that you can build a blockchain in order to do that cost substitution, because doing everything on a paper-based trail or having to wait for a long time, periods of time before you get that information is so costly that by doing it electronically with non-repudiation, with traceability, and in a near real-time fashion, gives you a cost benefit or gives you a business opportunity, not entirely based on the blockchain, but derived from your use case on blockchain. So instead of doing it as an investment, if you see, for example, the miner goes out and buys a machine as an investment, because they're investing money in buying that machine and in paying the electricity bill in order to get a reward versus their investment. So you're actually investing money. And actually, there's no way in which you can be sure that that investment will turn out. Okay, you might build your server farm and you might never mine a Bitcoin. Okay, and thus you're losing money. But it follows the same idea of doing an investment. In here, you're not doing an investment. What you're doing, you're doing infrastructure. Okay, now why do you buy a machine? Okay, because that machine allows me to do a certain amount of work. Okay, why do it using a machine instead of using paper? Oh, because doing it in a machine is a lot faster, it gives me more capability, it's a lot cheaper than doing it by paper. The same holds true by doing it on a blockchain. So the blockchain here is just another infrastructure tool. So who actually forks out the money to build this blockchain network? It is usually the members within the consortium that's built around trying to solve a business problem.